Hi guys, Christina, alcoholic addict. Um, so, those of you that don't know, Mondays and Wednesdays are the official 5D meeting days. They were like that since I think 2013. Since the pandemic, they came on every single night. So, when Eric called me yesterday and asked me to come on and speak tonight, I was always taught that you're not supposed to say no to service work. So I said yes. But I said, oh God, I gotta think of a topic. Like what, God, what do I talk about? And I thought, well, I always love talking about perception versus reality. And I just kind of like left things with him. And then today it kind of set in that this is what I was doing. And I kind of got hard on myself today. I kind of got like, well, shoot, Monday and Wednesday, there's always like, it's a really structured day. And they always have like really strong speakers and they always have something really good. Like, I have to make this really good. And I really let it bother me. And it really let it affect me today. And I thought, well, how perfect is that? It's my perception that this meeting has to be this great on a certain day. When in reality, if I am just sharing my truth, then that's a big deal. Then that's deep. So yeah, that kind of confirmed that I should be talking about reality, perception versus reality. I think every single one of us, our perception was our reality. And what happens if we make reality our reality? That's kind of like one of the core things that the AA has taught me, like the truth. When I first came into the program, I asked someone like, "How's this thing work? Like, just how's this thing work?" And they told me how. HOW, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. Okay, so obviously I completely tuned them out when I heard someone trying to help me. As if I didn't like just ask somebody to help me. I completely tuned them out. I thought those three things I don't know how to do. And those same three things I knew would completely destroy my perception and make my reality like come crashing down. And that was exactly what I needed. I remember thinking when they said that, like, this is the end. This is the end of it being all about me. I could no longer be a victim. No one could tell me like what to fix or what I'm doing wrong. Like, I had to do that. I had to put it all out there. And my perception when I came into AA was that nothing was about me, that no one cared about me. I didn't affect anyone. I could be gone tomorrow and not one person would really kind of give a shit. But that was the opposite of reality. Reality was everybody cared and was worried for me. I affected every single person that came into my path, and I was the only person that did not see my worth. Somewhere along the line, like, I forgot to be honest with people. I forgot how to be, most of all, honest with myself. Lack of acceptance is one of our key character defects. And our problem is bondage with self. So to me, AA was where I get to go to relieve that bondage. I just think as an alcoholic, we do what we want and we kind of deal with the consequences later. But I didn't have a later. I came into AA and like that time was now. I needed to do this to kind of get rid of my emotional bottom. That was another part that I like kind of lived in my own perception, that I believed that my emotions were the only thing that hit a bottom. The reality was I had to repair my education, my career that I completely turned into a day job. Then even that I couldn't keep. I jumped from job to job, pretty much waitressing, and even like I just couldn't keep a job. I had to repair my friendships. Oh God, friendships that I destroyed. And strictly, I destroyed them so that I could keep believing that nobody cared about me. Most of all, like for me, I had to repair the relationships with my family. These are the people that I hurt the absolute most. At the same time, these are the people that stood by me the most. They believed in me when I didn't. They loved me when I couldn't. It's hard. It's hard. That's probably the place that I most carry shame and guilt. And every day that goes by that I can make a living amends, like it's lessened and lessened. AA taught me true humility. True humility. Where I could no longer sugarcoat my problems. I just couldn't. Humility is a clear recognition of what we are and who we are, followed by a sincere attempt to become what we could be. That was hard for me to learn. AA taught me that. Today, I could say I'm really, really proud of my program. My perception is that I work a strong program. But although that's true, we all know the reality. The reality is I'm still just a work in progress. I always recognize that, but I was reminded of that when I was in a meeting during the Alcathon. Woo woo! Shout out to 5D for putting on that Alcathon, working so hard and providing that for the people. But I was reminded during the Alcathon in a meeting when a speaker said, even though I'm not stealing material things, I'm stealing from people, their energy and their love, and many more things that I was incapable of giving back. Yeah, I had to think about that. I wanted to get it right. That hit me like a ton of bricks. It hit me so hard. That was 100% true. Like I stole people's emotional security. I too thought like my perception was that I wasn't a thief because I didn't steal any cars or break into any houses. But I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that because I was still a thief. That was the truth. And for me, this would only work if I'm being honest, honest, open-minded, and willing. Like I want my perception to be reality. That's what I want. And I choose sobriety. I just choose sobriety. I choose sobriety to be my way of living. And thankfully and gratefully, AA is that. It's a design for living. So, yeah. I mean, if you think back, and you think about, your perception when you were drunk, whether it was a day ago or 30 years ago, the things that we thought were a good idea, the things that we thought were, so genius and totally not crazy, right? Sobriety has given me sanity to know the truth. And I thank God, and I thank you guys, and I thank AA for making me see reality. So hopefully that gives you guys something, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. If you don't have anything to say about that, that's okay. Share with me where you are. Eric, thank you for tonight.